Hey guys, welcome back to the Bruce Williams channel. I want to talk about the month that I've had. I bought 3 watches this month, which is a lot for me personally, and I've spent well over $20,000 on watches. When I say that out loud, it seems like I've got a problem, right? Because normal people don't spend 20 grand plus on watches, especially in one month, but it has been quite the month. So I want to take you through it real quick. I recognize not everybody is going to enjoy the watches that I'm super excited about, but frankly, and I hope this doesn't come across as too rude, but I don't collect for you. I don't collect to impress. Obviously, I don't dress to impress. I don't collect to impress. I buy watches because I love them. And I bought 3 this month that are impactful for me as a collector. The first one I'm wearing today, this one I purchased earlier this month from OC Tanner. This is the Cartier Tank. This is the Solo XL on the bracelet. And I mean, leave it to Bruce Williams to buy a tank on a bracelet, right? The watch that is meant to be worn elegantly on leather. But man, this watch is so surprising. It's surprising in its elegance and how effortless it is to wear. The wonderful details, the level of sophistication. This watch is so fun. I mean, obviously it was designed loosely off of the Renault FT-17 tank from World War I, a small French tank that was operated by 2 individuals. You know, and it was designed by Louis Cartier, the same designer that designed the Santos de Cartier. And yes, I've had a few people ask, I do enjoy the tank more than the Santos, and that's opposite generally of what watch enthusiasts normally like. Most watch enthusiasts like the Santos more than the tank, but man, this watch is amazing, and it doesn't break the bank for a luxury piece with name cachet. It's the original square or rectangular design. It follows the golden ratio of proportion, and honestly, it's just so easy to wear. I took this to LA when I went to an NFL game with some friends. You know, I wore this all the time, and it kept great time. Went through airport security just fine, didn't get magnetized. You don't just need a Rolex or an Omega to use a watch every day and to go in almost any situation that you find yourself in. So that was the first purchase. I believe this retails, I want to say $4,000 on the bracelet, but it has been discontinued. You know, the current model is the Must, the large Must, which I think is a little over $4,000. And that one looks phenomenal. I mean, that one looks great too. I just like the more linear and angular Tank Solo XL. So that was the first one. Let me show you the second watch that I bought this month. I've got them right next to me here. This is the Tudor Bruce Bay Chrono, or the Black Bay Chronograph Panda. I suggested to Tudor back in the early part of 2020 that they said they should make these exact watches, the Panda and the Reverse Panda. And I did a video. I put up Photoshop mock-ups. It got, 10,000 views, I think, within that first week. And Tudor never said that they watched my video, but, a year later, a little over a year later, they come out with the exact watches to a T. So I think I'll put my Photoshop on this side. I'll put their Photoshop on this side from their website. You guys can see, it's not rocket science to predict a Panda and a Reverse Panda, but you know what? They didn't think of it. They went years without thinking of it, or at least releasing it. Nobody else predicted it. So I like to claim that I designed this watch for Tudor. And this one I bought from Brent L. Miller Jewelers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I do hope to be going out there and filming in their store, hopefully within, the near future, having another watch enthusiast meetup out there. Great authorized dealer. And so I got this. And you know how it goes. You're in the honeymoon, and then you get another watch that you're super excited about, and you start another honeymoon. You start to be a polyamorous watch lover, and you're in 2 watch honeymoons at the same time. So I went from wearing this all the time, the Cartier, to wearing this all the time. I sleep in my watches. I know some of you weirdos do the same thing. You get a watch, you're super excited. You don't ever want to take it off, even to sleep in. So, I've been wearing this nonstop, and it's a lovely piece. It's very easy to wear. In fact, I think this is more comfortable than a standard Black Bay diver. Just with how much thinner the mid case feels than the step progression of the bezel and the crystal. It's really sharp in person and on wrist. And I would argue with a modified BO1 movement that carries a silicon escapement, it's actually more of a value than the BO1s that you get in a Breitling Navitimer or a Chronomat. So been loving that. But here's the thing. Here's where it gets wild. Not even a week later, I get the call for another watch. And this is my third and final purchase of the month. Here it is. The Sky Dweller from Rolex. And I opted for the stainless steel version with the black dial. Yes, I have seen the blue. I have seen the black. I have seen the white dial. But the black I always felt was the most striking. It carried the most contrast. And I got it on the Jubilee. And the nice thing is I'm going to be able to buy the oyster style bracelet should I want to add that in the future. But man, this is Rolex right here with the Jubilee, with the fluted bezel, with the coronet on the dial, with the chromolite and the white gold hands and markers, the stick hands. And not only is, the design language lovely Rolex, but it's bigger, it's heftier, it's taller than a Datejust 41. And it has one of the coolest complications. We have a GMT here, you can see in the ring. And then here's the fun part, you have an annual calendar. This is my first annual calendar. So technically, this is my most high horology piece. And I find it kind of comical that it comes from Rolex. It's a stainless steel sports piece with 100 meters of water resistance, with a screw down crown, with one crown. I don't have external pushers here, and a very ingenious system for rotating the fluted bezel to operate the different features of the watch. And again, it's going to be just as sporty, as a basic Rolex with 70 hours of power reserve, completely anti-magnetic. And excuse my dog. This is how it goes when I'm filming. And my battery's about to die, so I'm not going to stop filming. We're going to forge ahead. Actually, I probably have to answer the door because I don't know if my wife heard it. I'll be back. Okay, I apologize for that interruption. But, it's the holiday season. I'm a dad. Things happen. But yeah, I was talking about the Sky Dweller, talking about how, essentially this is a really interesting complication. It's my highest horology piece, but it's still sporty enough to wear in almost any situation. Take it in the pool if I really want to. I probably would never do that. I have dive watches to do that. But I like the fact that it's so robust, it's crisp, it's beautiful. To me, this is Rolex, and I'm so excited about this one. So now I'm going, all right, well, I want to wear the tank. I want to wear the Black Bay. Now I've got the Sky Dweller. I find myself some days wearing the Sky Dweller, and then, you know what? I got to put on the tank. I got to put on the Black Bay. And then an hour later, I switch around. I seem like a fool. I seem crazy. But you know what? It's a happy crazy. It's a happy time. It's been quite the month. Yes, I have spent a ridiculous amount of money, but I am getting a ridiculous amount of excitement from these watches that I've been enjoying. And anytime I buy, a significant piece, when I'm spending 20 grand or so, I always advocate for doing this responsibly. So I've changed up the collection. I axed a lot of watches. I was up to almost 24 watches. That's too many for me. It might not be too many for you, but for me, that was almost stressful. So I axed mercilessly some awesome watches, and now I'm about at 8 right now. And we'll do a full updated state of the collection and talk about what I would like to add next. I'm waiting on IWC. I've got my eye on a Glashütte original. I've got my eye on other Tudor. I'm looking at quite a few watches, and not just the higher end. I'm also always looking at Seiko. Got my eye on a couple Seikos. I got my eye on some more affordable watches, mid-level watches, Oris. I'm going to Oris's unveiling of their new watches for next year in Colorado next month. I'm really excited about that. This is just a really fun hobby, and I wanted to share what I've been doing this month, what I've added to the collection. I'm enjoying a tri-watch honeymoon from Rolex to Tudor to Cartier, and it's been awesome. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope you have an excellent end of the year. I want to thank you individually if you're subscribed, if you've been watching my content, for the past several years. That means a lot to me. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and see you next time. All right, let's try this again. No, facial recognition. Don't go on my fist, go on my face. There you go. Much about what... I'm getting a call. Spam. Man, don't be interrupting my filming.